Hello, welcome back to my haunted library. It's Regina. So I'm back today with a few different things, a little reading, a little writing. I just wanted to start by putting this out there. I do have this on my community page and also on my website, which I will link below. We had local haunts, serve cold, and now the third one is called Lurking in the Dark. And the theme is monsters. And I'm again looking for submissions from booktubers, author-tubers, horror tubers, and if you also happen to write fiction or you'd like to try any, no channel is too small, and if you've never written anything before and you want to give it a shot, please do. Everything you need to know about submitting is in the link below on my website, so please do check it out and hopefully it'll answer all your questions. Okay, well, speaking of writing, I just released a new book. This is book two, in the trilogy that I'm calling the Moondance Trilogy. It is about werewolves, that's the moon part, and ballet, that's the dance part. And here we go. Book one, Red Masquerade. Book two, Red Interlude. And I just love these covers. And there's one more called Red Finale, which is the final book in the trilogy. So that is coming out in April, and we're already in April. I've been editing, I've been working on it. It's already written, I just am polishing. All of this stuff I wrote during COVID. I had a year off, I didn't work, and I spent it pretty much writing and really writing every day, like 2,000 words a day. So I have a lot of material. That's why I have been able to get out so far a book a month. So it's April, and I'm still on track. So yeah, Red Masquerade is out, and this is now 99 cents on ebook, and the second one is I think $3.99. It's a bargain. It's a really fun story, and I've been getting good feedback from it, so that feels good. This is more of like along the lines of my Dark Hollow Chronicles, a little more YA, although new adult, because my character goes from 17 to early 20s, and she grows up a lot in that time. So I think it would be a fine book for late teens into early 20s or beyond, because I read YA stuff too occasionally, and I've actually been reading some a little lately. So yeah, I hope you check it out. And then the next book after the trilogy is going to be a gothic romance that I wrote that is, concurrently I'm uploading episodes on Kindle Vella. So you can start reading it now if you want, or wait till it comes out. That is just like kind of my take on a classic gothic romance with a vampire. And that is called Ravenscroft Hall. And then the next book will be Code Red, my adult vampire novel, Vampires in Appalachia. And then there'll be a book after that, and then after that. And I think I have about 6 months worth. Then I've got a little work to do to catch up. But yeah, this is all part of the plan. And, for any aspiring writers out there who say, how could you put out a book a month? Well, you can do it if you write every day. You really can, because it all starts to snowball, and suddenly you have a couple short stories. And when I say a book a month, it might not be a full novel every month. It could be a short story or a novella or a collection or an anthology. So the next HorrorTube anthology counts for one of those months. But so far, I'm doing great, so I'm on track. So I've also been getting out a bit. I went out last night, had a really nice time. I have given up alcohol for Lent. I've got like 9 days left. I think I'm going to make it. I did have one slip. It was a total mistake. My husband bought me some non-alcoholic beer, and I don't even really drink beer, but I had to drink something every once in a while. So I had these non-alcoholic O'Doul's beers, which are pretty good. They're in a green bottle, and I reached into the back of the refrigerator to grab one, and I actually grabbed one of his beers by mistake, and I drank half it down, and I was like, wow, this is really good. And then I realized I was drinking a beer, and, I was not struck dead by a thunderbolt. I survived. So, so I did have a little slip. But overall, it kind of taught me that I can abstain from things for a period of time and everything's okay. I've already lost 5 pounds, so that tells you something about my wine habit. And it also told me that I can go out and have a really great time with friends like I did last night and hang out in a couple bars and not drink. And it was great. And no hangover this morning. So yeah, feeling good. So that I went out to the movies last week with my friend James. I did a video about that. I saw the movie X. And a lot of people had commented things that I missed in the movie. Like apparently there was a trailer at the end that I left before. Usually I stayed to the end of the credits, and I did watch most of the credits, and I didn't see the trailer at the end, so I feel bad about that. But apparently there's another prequel coming out called Pearl, about the Pearl character played by Mia Goth, I think the actress's name is, who played her in the film. When I did my review, it was just like straight out of the box, just first impression kind of thing. The more I thought about that movie, the more I really liked it, and I'm glad I saw it. And then the other night, my husband and I went down to downtown Philadelphia and went to see The Godfather, which was a re-release because it was a 50th anniversary of that movie coming out, which is unbelievable that movie has been out 50 years. I did not see that in the theater when it first came out because I was too small, but I remember my parents going to see it and loving it. And I come from at least on my father's side, an Italian family, so not that we were mafioso, but there were a couple shady characters maybe on the periphery that I remember when we were growing up. Anyway, it just made me think about all this stuff and got very nostalgic. And yeah, The Godfather is a great movie and an incredible story. Incredible story, great characters, just everything. It's epic. Anyway, I enjoyed that. So what have I been reading? Well, not that much. I finished this book, Ash Wednesday by Chet Williamson. This was really good. This was kind of on the level of like a literary horror by someone like Peter Straub or Stephen King. It's kind of like that level. Really, really good. This is one of these books I just kind of randomly picked off my shelf. Paperback from hell. I have no idea where I got this. Never read it. I don't think I've ever read anything by this author. But wow, this was impressive. Really, really good. I would definitely read another book by this author. So let's see. This book came out in 1987. It's a tour book. Scattered through the streets and homes of Mirrodale are glowing, transparent blue forms, frozen in their death agonies. They do not speak and are all the more terrifying for their silence. Mirrodale's dead have returned. All hell is about to break loose. Ramsey Campbell says, disturbing, challenging, a cold, hard look at the terrors of death, ghost, and madness, a haunting vision of purgatory on earth. So basically it's a story about a small town in Pennsylvania where whoever died, like if someone died in this room, they would reappear as a ghost, almost like a hologram, like a blue transparent form. You could kind of put your hand through them, and they're frozen in the moment that they died. So you can imagine the hospital in town has a lot of these ghosts. But also, and what's interesting about the book, these buried secrets of people who were murdered and the killer got away with it and he's still living in the town. That body will suddenly be like, this one man kills this woman and, suddenly that he manages to get away with it, but the body of the ghost of her in the moment of death reappears, and now he has to kind of reckon with his crime. So it's a lot like that. So the purgatory part is true in that the town is like having a reckoning of their past sins that these ghosts are showing them. It's really well done. So I would highly recommend it. I'm going to give this one 4.5 out of 5 stars. Really good in general. So lately, when I've been just picking a book at random off my Paperbacks from Hell shelf, I've been getting a lot of good ones. What else I've been reading is I've been going through my Kindle. I have a love-hate relationship with my Kindle. I love it when I can buy a 99-cent horror book and it turns out I love it, but I hate it when I go on a trip and I've forgotten to charge it. And I've also had problems with this Kindle, like I had to send it back and get it fixed, and it's just a pain. But what I've been doing is going through and forcing myself to confront things that I bought on my Kindle that I completely forgotten about, and forcing myself to finish reading them. So there were a lot of horror books on here that I either haven't read or haven't finished reading. So I have a book on here called Slumber Party Succubus Supernatural Transgender Erotica. All right, I bought that. I'm confessing that I did buy that, but I don't think I've ever read that. And maybe I should, it might be really good. And maybe I'll do a little reading excerpt from that. Let me know in the comments below if that is something you would be interested in. I would love to hear your thoughts about that. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for stopping by my haunted library, and I'll see you soon. Bye!